bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Paul Lisnek and this is Comcast Newsmakers. This hour's newsmaker is André Thapedi, State Representative for the 32nd District. Today we're going to be talking about some crime legislation, but also some reflections of a new legislator. Representative, nice to see you.
Good to see you, Paul. It's a pleasure to be here.
And I should say welcome to the world of Springfield, where you are going.
Thank you.
You're a longtime practicing civil lawyer,
yes.
Personal injury in other areas.
Yes.
What made you wake up one day and say it's time to go to Springfield and make a difference?
Well, you know, my family has been very involved in the community for quite some time. My mother is a retired circuit court. She's now my law partner, and she's been involved in the community for many, many years. She was president of the Cook County Bar Association.
She boss you around the firm, too?
Of course.
All right, just checking.
She wouldn't have it any other way. My dad is a doctor, and he was in the community for many, many years servicing the people. So this is just another way that I can give back to the community, utilizing the skills that I have and translating that connection between the community down to Springfield.
And it worked because you won your election. The 32nd District includes the southwest side of the city.
Correct.
Market Park.
Correct. Southwest side of the city. It's a very diverse district, the 32nd District is, from Cottage Grove all the way over to Pulaski, as far north as 59th Street, as far south as 83rd Street. So I've got a wide variety of people to represent and to be very, very conscious of their concerns and their needs.
Exactly. Let's talk about one of the concerns, because in that area you live, violence, huge problem.
Yes.
I mean, it is throughout the city, but
yes.
certainly with where you are as well.
Yes.
So you drafted what is Joint Resolution number 51.
Correct.
People don't really care about numbers.
No, they don't.
But talk to me about the task force that got created by that bill.
Very, very important piece of legislation. We know that there's a gun problem in the inner city of Chicago. We know that. The question is, how do we resolve that problem? And what we've noticed is, at least the ATF has done studies, that we found that 43%, Paul, 43% of the illegal weapons that are seized in the city of Chicago come from Mississippi. Nothing against my good friends from Mississippi, but the fact still remains that illegal weapons are coming in from out of state into the city of Chicago, killing children in my community, and we cannot have that anymore.
And so tell me what your bill accomplishes.
Well, what we're doing is, with the task force is that we are using a concerted effort of having both downstaters, upstaters, city of Chicago people, law enforcement-based individuals to study this problem. They will and they will come up with recommendations as to how we can move away from this serious problem that we're having in the inner city of Chicago.
So it's a task force that is likely to create additional legislation.
That's the goal. The goal, first and foremost, is to study it. You know, the ATF has done their studies, but we want to be very specific in understanding this problem and how we can resolve it as quickly as possible.
And obviously the weapons violence, this transfer of guns, critical. Second Amendment challenges, I'm sure, will be there, but you're ready for those.
Oh, absolutely. As an attorney, I certainly understand the Second Amendment issues. I mean, there's no question about that. The Supreme Court has ruled upon that. Heller versus the District of Columbia, however you want to phrase it. But the Supreme Court was very specific as to a person's right to bear arms. And we don't want to infringe upon any constitutional rights. That would not be the way that we want to do business. What we do want to do is we want to save children. That's the bottom line.
Also, a capital bill passed. I'm going to switch topics. Your
Yes.
primary concern is education. You got some money tied to your educational efforts.
I sure did. And that was one thing that I was concerned with the capital bill, is that while we talk about the need for bridges, roads, streets, no question about that those things need to be handled. But especially in my community, I have public schools that are in very, very bad condition. So what I decided to do was I decided to make sure that each of the schools in my district, in the 32nd District, got their fair allotment of capital bill monies so that they can address immediate needs in the school. Because as we know, children are products of their environment. If they're in a beautiful place that they can learn, they'll be able to learn.
All right. Well, congratulations on getting that money. I'm going to have you back and tell me why licorice isn't candy and chocolate is. We'll hold that for another day.
All right, Paul.
Thank you, Representative.
Thank you.
This hour's newsmaker has been State Representative André Thapedi, and I'm Paul Lisnek. Thanks for watching us here. This is Comcast Newsmakers. Bye-bye.
The preceding was a presentation of Comcast Newsmakers. Now, back to headline news.